What up, though, y'all? It's Chris. Appreciate you connecting with me while I'm on the run, getting things done. It's a great day, mild weather. It's supposed to be even milder next week, and I'm hoping that happens. We're supposed to have low to mid 50s. And for some of y'all, that's cold as hell still. But for us in the great state of Michigan, we're going to welcome that with open arms. But let's get into the topic at hand. I saw Stephen A. Smith get pressed by LeBron James, and I was not surprised by this. It was a matter of when it was going to happen, not if it was going to happen. You guys, Bronny's in the NBA. He's, he's struggling to find his spot, if you will, just to put it gently. He's got moments in the G League where he's playing really well. He's yet to have one of those type of games in the NBA yet, though. And it doesn't mean that it's never going to happen. It just means that it hasn't happened yet. Some of our favorite players, those first couple seasons, they just weren't doing that well. And they go on to become greats. Now, that may not happen for Bronny, but I think it's a little too soon. We're in his rookie season to just say that this is his ceiling. Now, when you think about Stephen A. Smith, this is somebody that he always be after Bron. Now, I'm not no Bron stan. Let me just go ahead and throw that out there. Jordan is my GOAT. But I do appreciate Bron for what he's done for the league, how he's been an ambassador, a class act, never in trouble for anything, never nothing so much as a speeding ticket, a parking ticket even. The guy has just always been squeaky clean, and I appreciate that. Family man, good father, good husband, obviously an excellent provider. He's been a role model for many kids to look up to. But Stephen A. always finds his record in the finals, which, what is he, 4-6 in the finals? Right, okay, yeah. That's one of the reasons why Jordan will always be in front of him for me as well. But it just always seems like Stephen A. Smith always be just coming for Bron, this and that. And Bron don't ever respond to him. And I think that's part of the problem here. Stephen A. Smith said himself he did not expect this. He did not see this coming. And it just made me think about what Mike Tyson once said. It was to the tune of social media has gotten people too used to talking trash and not getting punched in the mouth. Now, obviously, Bron wouldn't get physical with him because he just got way too much to lose. But the point stands. He's so used to just running off at the mouth about people, and then when he see them in real life, it's like he expects them to just forgive that. Now, in fairness to Bron, as much as Stephen A. goes after him, whenever I see camera interactions with them, he's always cordial. There have been times that I've seen Stephen A. with his back turned talking to the camera, and Bron comes over and greets him. So he be letting bygones be bygones, but now you starting to talk about his son, and he took issue with that. We all know Bronny's not great right now. We all know that. This has been discussed. It's not like the media hasn't been covering it. The media has covered it. LeBron James' son being in the NBA was obviously going to be news, that there was no way that people weren't going to go to that well for water. But then you have Stephen A. Smith that just going to that a few too many times, to where he himself has said that people have reached out to him like, look, man, what you doing? We don't really like it. But you keep doing it though, man. Like, people are telling you like, hey, bro, like, what you doing? I'm not really vibing with that, man. there have been times that Stephen A. Smith was on First Take saying something about something, and people would chime in on him right then and there and check him like, hey man, this ain't the road that you want to go. And a lot of times he would, I'm not going to say backpedal, but, you know, he'd go ahead and be like, you know, okay, I'm told this and this and this and this about this and thing. So this source is closer than I am, so I'm just going to defer to them for it. But when it came to the thing about LeBron and Bronny, he was being a little too stubborn about letting that go. He says that Draymond Green stopped talking to him behind the things that he was saying about Bronny. I mean, we know that Draymond Green adores LeBron. My son told me that at Draymond's wedding, he was dancing with LeBron instead of his wife. If that's true, I mean, I can't give you a better example than that for how much he admires and respects LeBron. So I can definitely see him cutting him off behind him saying things about his boy's son. Stephen A. Smith is not very good at admitting when he does things wrong. And he can be a bit too stubborn when it comes to letting stuff go when he should. He defends his position like this is his job, and I get that and I respect that. But at the end of the day, you a man and you a father. And there's a human element that you must never blur the line of. Some things are not worth the clicks. Some things, they're not worth whatever ad revenue you're going to make from it and whatnot. And I apply this to my own channel. Certain topics, y'all just don't see me talk about. And I won't mention what they are, but certain things will land in my lap, and I'm like, nah, I don't really want to talk about that. You know, because I'm human, I'm a father, you know, I'm someone's son. I'm just like, nah, I'm not really going to lean into that. Other things I'll talk about, but I make sure to handle them with care, the sensitivity that they need, for those very reasons that I just mentioned. So you go back to SAS, and he says he knows exactly what they're talking about because people, you know, he knows exactly what LeBron was angry about because people reached out to him about the same thing. And I'm thinking that it's because of that Philly game where they pulled him from the G League, took him to Philly to play. He had to guard Tyrese Maxey, and he got cooked as he was supposed to. Tyrese Maxey is what, an all-star caliber player? Yeah. He was supposed to torch Bronny. Giving Bronny anything less than his best would have been disrespectful to Bronny. It would have been an insult to Bronny. So he did what he was supposed to do. Stephen A. Smith wants to appeal to LeBron as a father. Like, man, come on, bro. You doing this, man. Come on, man. You know, it's like insinuating that LeBron is a bad parent. So I can see him taking issue with that. Listen, putting your son in a situation where he gets cooked in the NBA is not bad parenting. It is not bad parenting, not even close. His job is to play basketball, right? And eventually he gonna face a Tyrese Maxey or the like. So putting him in that situation sooner rather than later, you might not agree with it, but come on now, man. Stop equating it to bad parenting. On one hand, you say that he's an adult and he should be able to withstand the criticism. But on the other hand, you then appealing to, or attempting to appeal to LeBron as a father, saying he shouldn't put him in certain situations. You can't have it both ways, man. He's either a professional or he isn't. He says that he understands that LeBron was upset at him and why he was upset at him. As a father, he gets it. And that he was saddened that the exchange happened the way it was. You know, he also mentioned something, and I thought this was really odd, that they could have handled it privately. Now, that's just not going to work for a couple reasons. One, you addressed this publicly, so you got checked about it publicly. That expecting people to check you privately when you've been shooting your mouth off on First Take is crazy. Secondly, when Bron's peeps reached out to you on his behalf to tell you Bron was a bit upset about some of the stuff that you said about his parenting and his son, You went on your podcast and made it into content, talking about how you had people from LeBron's camps reaching out to you, saying stuff that pissed you off. They know who they are. So, I mean, nobody's gonna reach out to you privately, man, because you gonna expose what's said. Like, really, you gonna expose what's said. Case in point, we had no idea what LeBron said to you. We was trying to lip read and get an idea. We knew it was involving his son. We knew he said bro in it. You know, we could tell he said, the S word, an F bomb, but we didn't know what all was said. You then go on your podcast the following day and tell us exactly what he said to you. Why, man? Have you learned nothing? Like, why are you still talking? Part of the problem of why you in this situation is you talking. And now you still doing it. I know your job is to talk, but certain things, man, you just gotta understand the line between being a man and being a professional. Certain things you just gotta you gotta leave them off the table. Now, I'm not saying that Stephen A. Smith doesn't do that at all. I'm sure there's a load of stuff that he knows that we don't know and never will know, at least not from his lips. So I'm not saying he never does do that. I'm saying that in this case, he always seems to fail to apply that same level of discretion. When LeBron's peeps reached out to you on his behalf, that was them attempting to do this with you privately, and you went on your very public platform talking about it. So you leave them no option than to pull up on you publicly. And the fact that he was surprised by him pulling up on him, man, for him to be a New Yorker, sometimes he just really be naive. You can't just be talking about people and talking about them and never expect somebody to come see you. And here you are, you in LA, courtside at a Lakers game. You where he at. He ain't come where you be. You came to where he be at. So he took that opportunity to come confront you about what you've been saying. I really do believe him when he says he didn't expect that to happen during the game, that confrontation. I really do believe him when he says that. I'm just not understanding how it came to be that you was at a Lakers game. You've been bringing him up when it's necessary, and even a lot of times when it's not. You was bringing up Bronny when it's necessary, and even more times when it's not. I mean, we know that Bronny is playing bad. You talking about Bronny playing bad at some point, not now, but at some point you was talking about Bronny being bad more than players being good. We were hearing about him being bad more than we were that the Oklahoma City Thunder was doing well. I mean, I don't know. And then he wondered why certain players like Draymond and who else was it? Kevin Durant, they take issue with him. It's because you be coming smiling in people's face, and then you go on your podcast or you go on First Take and you snake them. People don't like that, man. They don't like to feel ambushed. See, Allen Iverson, he used to do that snake stuff to him, and Allen Iverson overlooked it. He on record saying that he used to snake Kobe, and Kobe overlooked it. Those are great players, and given the personalities that they have, I'm surprised that they overlooked it. But you can't expect everybody to do that. I'm gonna leave it there. Stephen A. got checked. He got checked publicly, and he hasn't really apologized. He's just kind of been like, he understands where he was coming from. He doesn't fault LeBron James, but I mean, he acting like he all sad and stuff, like he was the one accosted, like he didn't do anything to bring that confrontation his way. And I can't get with that. That doing stuff, and then when people responded, you acted hurt over the way they responded to, what you were doing first. I can't get with that. I'll holler at y'all later though. Peace.